You're about to step into an abandoned fortress. The place carries an eerie silence, only broken by the rustling wind through broken windows. You tiptoe around rubble, ready for any impending danger. Suddenly, out of the shadows, an ethereal entity emerges, shimmering under the faint moonlight. A mysterious non-playable character, rendered to life by the sheer sophistication of AI technology.
This encounter isn't just fictional myth, Keith. It's something many gamers, like myself, have actually experienced. That powerful moment where AI-generated non-playable characters, NPCs as they're universally called, spring into existence, interacting with us with an unpredictability and realism that we never thought possible.
True, Michael. Experiences like these emphasize the revolution in the gaming world that AI technology is bringing about. An immersion so deep that a player almost believes they are part of this alternative reality.
And that's the elusive charm of AI-generated NPCs. They bring about an unpredictability that is not otherwise possible with traditionally scripted characters. Keith, let's imagine a world void of these mischievous, fascinating AI-rendered NPCs. RPG gaming would be pretty simple, wouldn't it?
Indeed, Michael, and by simple we mean quite monotonous. NPCs are truly the lifeblood of RPG games. They can play various roles, right? Allies, mentors, villains, quest givers, or even simple background persona.
It's not just about the variety, Keith. NPCs offer depth and add unpredictability to the gaming experience. One moment they're helping you survive skirmishes, the next, they may even backstab you.
And this unpredictability sometimes reconstructs the entire storyline. Tell me, Michael, have you ever had an unexpected fallout with an AI-generated NPC?
Yes, there was this case in Elder Scrolls, a renowned RPG. The NPC was a supposed ally, but its unpredictability led me down paths I had not anticipated, completely overhauling my strategy.
That sounds like a drama series. This adaptability is what makes gaming enthralling and why we need NPCs. From simple scripted beings, they've truly evolved into realistic, complex characters. When we think about the player's gaming experience, particularly in RPGs, we can't overlook the role of the NPCs, can we, Michael?
No way, Keith. We previously discussed how their existence adds unpredictability to the gaming environment. Imagine an RPG world without NPCs. Not quite the interesting narrative we want, is it?
You've struck upon the core idea there, Michael. NPCs contribute to crafting those enticing narratives that make gamers want to dive in again and again. They're like spices to a dish. Distinct, flavorful, and fundamentally influential to the overall taste.
I wholly agree, Keith. The storyline, the quests, the side quests, everything would seem dull and unrealistic without our NPC companions. They provide the gamers with a sense of direction and a feeling of immersion. After all, RPGs are about experiencing a new, exciting world, and NPCs make sure of that.
And let's not forget the diversity these characters bring to the table. From farmers and traders helping you assemble resources to enigmatic guides revealing hidden quests, or treacherous foes waiting for the perfect moment to strike, these NPCs ensure every turn of your journey is filled with intrigue.
Absolutely, Keith. Speaking of intrigue, it's interesting to contemplate that NPCs are not mere props for the background. Instead, they have become dynamic entities, a result of years of iterative development and AI application.
Indeed. I have read about this but don't have a full understanding yet. Can you elaborate on how AI upgrades have transformed these NPCs?
With pleasure, Keith. So far, we've been talking about the NPCs from a player's perspective, but if we flip the lens and look at it from a developer's viewpoint, using AI to create NPCs has proven to be a game changer, literally.
Wait a minute, Michael. Sorry to cut you off, but before we delve into that, we may have to take a short break. Let's get back to this fascinating chat right after. You know what fascinates me, Michael? The ability of AI to enhance the unpredictability of our NPC friends.
An intriguing aspect. Mind expanding on that, Keith?
Definitely, Michael. So, previously, without AI, NPCs were sort of, well, mathematical, rigid. They reacted to player choices according to predefined logic and codes, which could sometimes result in predictable exchanges, consequently impairing the gaming experience.
That does sound dull. It's like playing chess with a software that just follows the rulebook.
Exactly. Now, Replace that software with AI that's capable of learning from previous player-NPC interactions. Imagine a game where NPCs can evolve, adapt, and respond, not just based on preset scripts, but according to patterns learned from their encounters with you, the player. Doesn't that feel so much more immersive?
Without doubt, Keith. It's more like getting an adept chess partner who learns from our games. This certainly underscores the dynamic potential AI can bring to NPC creation.
It's not just about increased unpredictability, Michael. NPCs becoming more dynamic, interacting with players in a more human-like manner, that in itself enriches the overall gaming environment. In fact, their sophistication can even influence how players shape their strategies in-game.
So, not only are we getting NPCs that are less predictable, but we are also getting a layered and incredibly immersive gaming environment. This no doubt drives the engagement factor sky high.
And remember, Michael, all of this has been achieved by integrating AI technology into NPC creation. The future of gaming seems exciting. Allow us to contextualize what we've been discussing. Imagine you're deeply immersed in this RPG world. It's late at night, lights are dim, music is mysterious, your character's life is at stake, and you approach an NPC for the desperate information you require. Previous RPG games could have offered you standard dialogues or a routine shopkeeper. But with AI, this NPC becomes a fully fledged character.
Like instead of responding based on the time-tested scripts, this NPC remembers you from last time, refers to past interactions, their emotions toward you changing based on how you treated them. That would certainly inspire a shift in the way players navigate the game world.
Precisely. The game environment becomes more inclusive, flexible, responsive. Can you see why we're so excited about this, folks? Now, Michael, what's the significance of this enhanced interactivity from an economics viewpoint?
Well, Keith, it's simple. In a fiercely competitive gaming market, games featuring AI-created, dynamic NPCs gain an edge. They would typically see higher player engagement, resulting in increased profits. Additionally, it could open new revenue streams like personalized RPG experiences, creating a solid competitive advantage.
This reminds me of an AI theory from the 60s called the Eliza effect, where people tended to attribute understanding and emotions to a simple AI program called Eliza. It kind of mirrors how players might interact with AI-powered NPCs. Do you think, economically, players would prefer dynamic NPCs over traditional scripted ones?
An excellent question, Keith. There's a reason why immersive games are currently on the hot-selling list. We're encountering a shift in the demand pattern in the gaming industry. Players crave for an authentic, engaging, interactive experience, which can be sufficiently fulfilled by AI-powered NPCs. Though I don't have concrete data, the recent trends suggest that players would prefer dynamic NPCs.
Makes sense. The rise in difficulty, unpredictability would drive players to strategize, plan, and essentially, play more. Giving NPCs their minds in a way is not just a technical achievement, but a leap in gaming narrative.
Keith, you won't find two people who agree more on this. The fusion of AI and RPG gaming has unleashed a potential for narratives that was perhaps unexplored before, promising a revolution in the industry.
However, implementing such AI technology in NPC isn't a walk in the park.
By that you mean there are challenges?
Indeed. While the potentials of AI in creating dynamic NPCs are exciting, the technical complexity is quite daunting. It's not simply about coding a character to react in a particular way. Using AI means creating a system that can learn, evolve, and interact in diversified ways based on user inputs.
That requires a high level of expertise and understanding of AI technology, doesn't it?
That's correct. Additionally, unpredictability is another challenge. While the unpredictability adds to the immersive experience, too much of it can become a hindrance. What if the NPC starts behaving insanely complicated, making it difficult for the player?
Right. I presume it's about striking a balance between complexity and enjoyment?
You nailed it, Michael. The game developers need to ensure that the NPC doesn't evolve to the point where it disrupts the balance and ruins the enjoyable gaming experience.
Essentially, it's a tightrope walk, isn't it? Upping the game through AI, but not so much that the beauty of gaming is lost.
Exactly. It's a complex endeavor, worthy of a lot of thought and careful implementation.
With AI-induced complexity, aren't we breaking away from the original game purpose?
Perhaps. But remember, technology is conventionally disruptive. When we introduced AI in the first place, it disrupted the script-based NPC model.
Yes, yet disruption shouldn't equate to diversion. RPGs have a specific purpose. They are about plot, strategy, and player-character interaction.
Absolutely. Yet you also got to admit that AI brings a lot to the table. Think unpredictability, the element of surprise, the advanced level of interactivity. It all builds the story plot in a unique way.
But do we stand to lose more in this quest for complexity? Like, the cost of implementing AI and training NPCs might outweigh the perceived benefits, especially in terms of economic viability.
A point to consider indeed. To make matters even complex, imagine a scenario where an AI NPC learns player interaction patterns so well that it creates a repetitive environment, thus losing the element of novelty.
Oh, the irony. The very aspect that was supposed to make the game engaging turns out to be its downfall.
And not to mention, overly complicated AI NPCs could alienate casual gamers who prefer a straightforward, less challenging gaming experience. With great power from AI, developers are facing immense responsibility to keep the balance and enjoyment of the game.
It's critical that these challenges get addressed effectively while driving the NPC evolution. Else, it's creativity at the expense of enjoyment and possibly commercial success.
Let's venture deeper into the labyrinth of AI technology and NPC creation. Much like an RPG dungeon, the landscape is rather complex and exciting, isn't it?
Very much so, Keith. While I lack in tech specifics, it's the economic implications that catch my eye. Run us through the typical tools one would use.
It starts with machine learning. This is the foundation of AI, where we feed data to our model, the machine learns patterns, and then starts making decisions based on those patterns.
In essence, like teaching a child to react and learn from its surrounding, isn't it?
Precisely. Now, in the field of gaming, AI uses these machine learning capabilities for character behavior. With enough data, the NPCs can mimic human-like responses to situations in the game, and naturally, the accuracy improves over time.
Fascinating. And what of the algorithms involved?
Deep learning networks are often used, particularly in complex RPGs. They allow NPCs to handle multiple tasks at once, whether it's responding to players' actions, predicting a player's next move, or simply controlling the behavior of the NPC. Some games even employ reinforcement learning, where the AI improves its actions through rewards-based positive reinforcement.
The potential for customization is almost infinite then.
Indeed, and that's just the scratch of the surface. The pinnacle, arguably, is fostering emotional intelligence in NPCs. Imagine NPCs that not only understand what you said but how you said it, mapping players' emotional states, and responding in kind, all the while using these interactions for ongoing learning.
A humbling perspective. The economic implications are enormous. Repeated user engagement, better retention rates, and enhanced user experience can very well translate into a steady stream of revenue.
And this interplay of economics and AI tech in gaming, Michael, is proving to be a game changer, pardon the pun. Building an AI NPC, Michael, feels akin to raising a child. You train them, teach them, and then unleash them onto the world, or in this case, the game.
Interesting analogy, Keith. I presume then, the first step involves training the AI?
Exactly. We first start by feeding it a ton of data, which in this case could be player interactions, game narratives, and behavior of multiple characters. This phase is similar to early childhood learning, where kids observe and absorb information from their surroundings.
Once this initial learning phase concludes, what's the next step?
The next step is similar to an adolescent learning to act independently. We don't explicitly code the AI's behavior. Instead, we design it to learn from its environment, make decisions, respond, and remember player interactions. This essentially shapes the NPC's future actions.
That's mind-blowing. So in essence, each player might have a unique interaction with the same NPC based on their individual gameplay. But it makes me wonder, how do you ensure the AI doesn't become too complicated or challenging for the player?
It's a delicate balance, Michael. When the AI behavior becomes too unpredictable or the NPCs too intelligent, it can disrupt gameplay and detract from the player's enjoyment. So while fostering the NPC's growth, it's crucial to balance it with the game's overall objective and player enjoyment.
So, we're consistently treading the thin line between complexity and engagement, aren't we?
Remember Skyrim, Michael? One of the heavily lauded NPCs from it was Serana. Relishing the intrigue, depth, and dynamics crafted into her character, players highly acclaimed her AI design.
Absolutely, Keith. Even though I'm not overly technical, I couldn't help but admire how AI played a pivotal role in her multi-layered personality, charming sarcasm, emotional depth, her constant development throughout the narrative, all were spectacular. How did they achieve this?
Bethesda used a dynamic AI response system, tweaking it for Serana particularly. Rather than traditional pre-scripted lines, she could respond to player actions, game events, and even environmental factors more dynamically. So, the AI enhancements were astutely utilized to convey that emotional depth you noticed.
Makes sense, and that's quite innovative. Shifting over to Mass Effect, the AI charm of EDI, an onboard AI turned humanoid, was incredible. In fact, her transition from VI to AI, her evolving sense of humor are remarkable.
You bet. BioWare did a fantastic job with EDI as well. They empowered her with complex decision-making capabilities, enabling dynamic interactions with the player. Her evolution, sense of freedom, and its subsequent effects in the story, it was all meticulously integrated by harnessing AI's potential.
That's inventive. From these examples, I guess it's fair to say that AI's role is profound in crafting unique and dynamic personalities to NPCs.
That's correct. It makes NPCs more than just a part of the narrative. They get an identity, emotions, and a personality that can adapt dynamically, making the overall RPG experience more immersive. Last time we touched on Serana in Skyrim and EDI in Mass Effect, both unforgettable thanks to their sophisticated AI appointments. Are there other NPCs you resonate with given recent game scenarios?
Oh, I've got a couple of interesting ones. You are familiar with A Plague Tale, Innocence, right? There's Roderick, a blacksmith's son who mainly contributes to the game's progression by unlocking doors or bending metal. What was particularly impressive was his exceptionally synchronous reactions to the environment changes and player behaviors. Isn't that another great usage of AI to enhance the game's immersive quality?
Excellent point, Michael, and a well-rounded example. The versatility of Roderick's reactions can indeed be attributed to intuitive AI script writing. The developers utilized AI to interpret player behavior patterns, thus generating more appropriate and natural responses for Roderick. By doing so, we're witnessing an elevated level of player engagement, even when interacting with a side character.
Another one that comes to mind is in Cyberpunk 2077. Johnny Silverhand, portrayed by Keanu Reeves, is a digital ghost implanted in the protagonist's mind. His unique AI design rivals those in more central roles, even the player. Doesn't that seem like a big leap in NPC development, Keith?
Very fitting example, Michael. Silverhand not only responds to your actions and decisions, but his entire demeanor and dialogues convey his unique personality effectively. This genuine interaction, fueled by AI, does indeed mark significant evolution in NPC design. It's safe to say that AI is becoming an essential tool in projecting complex, multi-dimensional characters in the RPG gaming world.
So, Keith, as AI continues to refine NPC personas with dynamic responses and character development, how much does the AI contribute to the economic mass of these successful RPGs?
This is your domain, Michael, but I'd venture to say that it's significant. The enhanced user experience typically results in higher game ratings, thus driving higher purchase rates due to the recommendations and ultimately leading to greater profits. So, implementing advanced AI technology into NPC design is definitely a wise economic decision for developers.
So, Keith, looking towards the horizon, if AI keeps advancing at this rate, how will NPCs develop further?
Michael, let me fly with my prospections here. Imagine NPCs in RPG gaming becoming so advanced that they mimic not just reactions, but spontaneous emotions. NPCs could even develop a sort of personality over time, becoming companions that evolve with the player. Might seem outlandish, but the possibilities are limitless.
Wow, evolving NPCs. That's fascinating. But Keith, if the NPCs become too real and independent, could that overshadow the player's control over the game?
You're spot on, Michael. That's actually a valid concern in the gaming community. When NPCs evolve unpredictably, they may not align with the game's storyline or might disrupt the player's strategies. That's why having a balance is critical, maintaining the right level of AI unpredictability, yet keeping the narrative predominantly player-focused.
Balancing it out. I see. Also, with AI's rapid growth paired with virtual reality, can we hope for lifelike NPCs not just in terms of behavior, but also in visuals?
Definitely, Michael. Advanced AI could be combined with VR to mimic intricate human expressions or body movement. We might encounter NPCs that flirt, show empathy, or even portray complex emotions like regret or guilt. Now that would be an immersive gaming experience.
Whoa, that's on another level. I'm thrilled by the potential future of RPG games.
Same here, Michael. It's a thrilling time for gamers everywhere with AI revolutionizing the RPG landscape. Looking forward, the phrase "it's just a game" might not be apt anymore. Emotionally advanced NPCs. That's what we might call the future, isn't it?
Ha ha ha. Sounds like a sci-fi movie. But seriously, considering the growth of AI, that could become a real deal. You mentioned about NPCs mimicking complex emotions, but how about game strategies and tactics? Can you see them evolving?
Absolutely. AI NPCs are not only going to be more emotive, they might also be smarter. I can foresee a future where NPCs learn and adapt to players' strategies. They'll bring about surprise and innovation in games.
I can see how that could bring unpredictability and excitement to games. On the flip side, how does the gaming industry and market react to these advanced AI NPCs?
Well, you being the financial analyst could tell us more about the economics. But from what I see, as AI pushes the boundaries with NPC design, the costs associated with AI development must steadily increase, right?
Yes, that's correct. Implementing advanced AI might surge development costs. Nonetheless, the potential upside is enormous. The market for RPGs can expand drastically with the integration of advanced AI NPCs, hence driving more sales. That's the gamble, isn't it?
That's what makes it fascinating, the blend of risk and reward. Who knows, with the advent of advanced AI and increasing computational power, we might stumble upon cost-effective ways to create these hyper-realistic NPCs.
So, we're looking at evolved emotions, advanced strategies and tactics, higher development costs, but possible greater growth in the RPG market. This rapid growth of AI sounds like a roller coaster ride. Fasten your seatbelts, everyone.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Michael. Indeed, the world is ready for an exciting journey into the future of gaming. The most fascinating aspect of any game would be its characters. Would you agree, Michael?
Absolutely, who cannot connect with an NPC and their distinct personalities.
Exactly. So let's use this instant and turn the mic over to our listeners for a change. You guys are the actual heroes here. Remember that AI NPC that left a lasting impression on you?
Yes, perhaps an AI-generated NPC that surprised you, or even one that frustrated you with an unexpected twist in the storyline.
Hey guys, glad to share my immense respect for the AI-generated NPC, Ayla the Huntress from the game Skyrim. Her hunter background and connection to the werewolf storyline was so realistic. At times, I forgot I was interacting with AI.
That is interesting. Thanks for sharing. You see, that's what AI in gaming is all about, creating immersive experiences that involve players emotionally. Ayla the Huntress is indeed a great example, Michael. What do you think?
Absolutely. Investing emotions into an NPC reflects the outstanding success of AI technology. All right, anyone else? Any more case of a remarkable AI NPC?
My pick would have to be HK-47 from Knights of the Old Republic. I must say the blend of his hilarious dialogue and the strategic depth he brings to combat situations is a testament to what AI can do.
Fantastic pick. HK-47 is indeed an iconic character. Comedy and strategy, It's amazing to see AI incorporating these aspects coherently. Remember, these are not simple dialogues, but AI at work.
True that, Michael. Any NPC that can make you laugh is indeed a winner in my book. Ayla the Huntress from Skyrim, HK-47 from Knights of the Old Republic. We've heard about some genuinely engaging AI characters today.
Keith, wasn't it fascinating to learn how these lifelike NPCs captivate gamers, making them invest emotionally in gaming narratives?
Yes, and the contribution doesn't end at engagement and immersion. Using AI for NPC creation takes unpredictability in gaming to another level. We see even more opportunities for interaction, hampering dull moments.
And this is not a story of the successful stars alone. There's a backstage narrative of the challenges, the technical complexity, achieving the harmony between AI and player enjoyment.
Those challenges are also the exact opportunities for growth, paving a thrilling path to the future. And imagine the impact this will have as AI gets more advanced and combines with other technologies like VR.
Envisioning this future, we're awaiting a whole new universe of engagement in gaming. However, development cost and feasibility of these advanced technologies remain an essential consideration. But, who knows? Innovation often springs from such constraints.
Well, listeners, we can't help but feel overwhelmed with curiosity and excitement for what's around the corner in AI and gaming. We dearly appreciate your active participation today. Your anecdotes, insights, experiences made all the difference in this meaningful discourse of ours. We truly value you all.
Exactly. Thank you for being on this enthralling journey of exploring AI personas in RPG gaming. We are signing off now, but, as always, the exploration continues. Stay tuned for more eye-opening conversations about the marvelous intersection of technology, economy, and gaming.